Alright, let's dive into something that's probably sitting in your fridge right now, your drink packaging. Glass, plastic, aluminum, they're all vying for that prime shelf space, but which one is actually the most sustainable? Here's the thing, it's not as simple as you might think. Pause for effect, let's break it down. First off, plastic, specifically PET, is the heavyweight champion of the beverage packaging world. It's everywhere, right? Lightweight, shatterproof, and cheap to transport. No wonder it's dominating the market. But here's where it gets interesting. While PET is great for logistics, its end-of-life story is a mess. What happens to those billions of bottles after you've finished your soda? That's the question regulators and companies are scrambling to answer. Personally, I think the convenience of plastic comes with a massive asterisk. Its recyclability is just not cutting it, especially when you compare it to other materials. Now, let's talk glass. It's the premium choice, no doubt. Think wine, spirits, craft beer, glass just feels high-end. But here's the catch, it's heavy. Like, really heavy. A glass bottle can weigh up to 10 times more than a PET bottle. That means more energy to transport, more emissions, and a bigger footprint. Sure, glass is infinitely recyclable, but it's also energy-intensive to produce. So, while it looks great on the shelf, its sustainability creds are a bit of a mixed bag. What many people don't realize is that for glass to truly shine, it needs to be reused a lot. We're talking 20, 30, even 40 rotations to really make it worth it. And that's only if the logistics work out perfectly. Then there's aluminum. This is where things get really fascinating. Aluminum cans are lightweight like PET, but unlike plastic, they don't degrade when recycled. And here's the kicker, aluminum has a global recycling rate of 74.8%. That's compared to 47% for PET and 41.9% for glass. What this really suggests is that aluminum is playing a completely different game. It's not just about being recyclable, it's about actually being recycled. And that's where aluminum pulls ahead. What makes this really interesting is the economic incentive. Scrap aluminum has value, so there's a built-in reason to collect and recycle it. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a game changer for circularity. But here's the nuance. PET has a logistical advantage that's hard to ignore. Those bottles start as tiny preforms, which means trucks can carry way more of them without hauling air. That cuts down on transportation emissions, especially when compared to shipping bulky glass or even formed aluminum cans. So, while aluminum wins on circularity, PET can still win on initial efficiency. This raises a deeper question. Are we optimizing for the beginning of a product's life or its end? Glass, meanwhile, has a wild card, reusability. If you can keep a glass bottle in circulation for dozens of cycles, its environmental impact plummets. But that's a big if. The reverse logistics, collecting, washing, redistributing, have to be flawless. And if the bottles are traveling hundreds of kilometers to get cleaned, that advantage starts to disappear. From my perspective, glass is the sustainability champion in a perfect world, but in reality, it's often let down by the system around it. So, which one's the best? Honestly, it depends. If you're shipping water across continents, PET might be your best bet. If you're running a local brewery with a deposit return system, glass could be unbeatable. But when it comes to single-use packaging in a global circular economy, aluminum is hard to beat. Its recycling rate, energy savings, and material durability make it a standout. One thing that immediately stands out is how aluminum's advantages are systemic. It's not just about the material itself, but how it fits into the larger recycling infrastructure. What this conversation really highlights is that sustainability isn't one size fits all. It's about context, systems, and trade-offs. And that's the fascinating part, there's no villain here, just different players with different strengths. So, next time you crack open a drink, take a second to think about the packaging. It's more than just a container, it's a piece of a much bigger puzzle. What do you think? Which material do you think has the most potential? Let me know in the comments below.